Hey guys, this is LaChef from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I am back with the last of my 2019 reading videos. This is my 2019 reading stats. Reading stats. That's it. All the numbers and whatnot of all the books that I've read. Now, just FYI, I didn't use like any kind of Excel sheet or database or anything like that. Um, I will be doing that this year, 2020, and going forward, just because I've been reading a lot of library books, and the library doesn't keep track of what you've taken out. So, yeah. The I hope to also buy books this year. I didn't buy any last year. That's not true. I got a couple from a few local thrift stores, but not many. I think there was like 5 in total, and that was like 2 shopping trips. So yeah, I hope to get more, probably full price books, and yeah, let's just go into it. Um, Total reads. Uh, I've read a total of 72 books this year, or in 2019, I should say. And my Goodreads goal was 58. That was one more than the 57 I had read in 2018. Now, this is not a surprise to me. This is not new. It's not a numbers game for me to like read as many books as possible. I mean, I do, but like, I'm not like reaching for a certain amount beyond just as many as possible because I love reading and I want to read more. Um, it is what it is. But I'm 35 years old. I run my own business. I um, have somewhat of a social life, so I can't always focus on reading. And this year, my goals are more business and money focused than in the past. So I probably won't reach this number again, and that's okay. I know I've read 100 plus books in the past in one year, but that was like high school and early college. So I know that just life doesn't allow me to do that anymore, and I have to sacrifice some things if I want to put others into my life. But 72 is pretty good. It's more than the 58 and more than I've read in the past few years. So I'm happy to be back on a good reading track, published works, not just reading fan fiction all the time. So there's that. Total pages read, 24,912. Um, my highest reading month, meaning the month I read the most books, was November. It was also the month where I read the most pages, 3,941. My lowest reading month, meaning the month I read the least, is was January last year. 2 books only, and the way things are going this year, it'll probably be the same. 698 pages. I The shortest book I read was Power Up, Volume 1, 23 pages. That was a graphic novel. I could have looked for like the shortest novel book, but I didn't feel like it. The longest book, according to Goodreads, was The Game of Thrones, but because I already said I did not finish that, I don't count it. The longest book I read was The Well of Ascension, book 2 of the Mistborn First Era trilogy, and that was 784 pages. I read 10 audiobooks, 3 ebooks, 62 physical books, and 3 graphic novels. Sorry, 2 graphic novels and 3 manga. I think there's some overlap between the physical and ebooks, but this is why I need the thing for my library uses, because once you return the books, there's no record of it. And I definitely have been using Libby a lot this year, an app I've never used before. I've used Overdrive in the past, but Libby, thanks to um, several of my favorite booktubers, has become an app I use more often. So I remember the audiobooks more, and I kept track of the fact that I use those more. Um, if you add up those numbers, you may be thinking, oh, Lachette, that's more than 72 books. That's because, again, thanks to the Libby app, some books I partially read the physical and listened to the audio. Um, so that was nice. Being able to switch over if I found that I didn't have time for one or the other was nice. Now, for genres, I read 12 contemporary novels. Who am I? Um, I say that like you guys know, and I've been on good booktube forever and ever, but I don't read a lot of contemporary. That is not old romance authors or well-known romance authors like Nora Roberts. So, and I didn't read a Nora Roberts book this year, unless you count J.D. Robb, which I'm not. Fantasy, 38 fantasy, no surprise there. I like fantasy. Um, Nonfiction, I read 5 nonfiction books. I wanted to read more. There was a plan, sort of, kind of, to read one nonfiction book every month, but that didn't happen. Some of the ones that I wanted, I just wasn't as into, and others I just didn't get around to. Let's see. Pagan and Witchcraft, I read 3 pagan or witchcraft books. I'm counting like divination stuff in there, like the Tarot Elements by Melissa Sonova. That I'm throwing that in there. I also read 5 classics. 2 of those were audio books, so I'm really happy. The other 3 were children's books, but whatever, they're classics. No, 2 were children's books and 1 was a science fiction classic or a fantasy classic. I forget which. Anyway, um, do, 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 do. Okay, yep, I think that's it for the genres. So, new to me authors, 29. All of those contemporaries were new to me authors, by the way. Um, and I am super happy for that. Again, I went through like the almost 4-year reading slump as far as published books go, and I feel like I missed out on a lot and I'm catching up. So like since 2009, maybe 2010, I'm trying to catch up on authors I liked and then the genres I liked where new stuff came out in that time, particularly fantasy. Even before that, high fantasy I hadn't been reading a lot of because the old guard stuff other than Tolkien was either too thick for me to read when I was in college or in graduating high school, or more it was too misogynistic for me to stomach. You know how I'm talking about. Anyway, so like, yeah. Um, Authors that I know, I've read 18 books from. Now, standalones, I read 23 standalones. That's weird for me. I like series. I like being with the characters. I like connected works, even if it's not a series, because I feel comfortable with the world, knowing the characters. That's why fantasy is my favorite. But I read 23 standalones, and several of them were among my favorites of the year, as you saw. Next series, I read 37, so those ain't going nowhere. Rereads only 4, and I think 2 were Harry Potter books, so not bad. Not bad. One I read as a refresher for the beginning of a series. Library books. I read 69 library books, which I'm very proud of, and many of them were late, so I'm definitely supporting my local libraries, y'all. NYPL, hire me. Gifts, I only got one, or actually I should say five, because I forgot. On Christmas, I got the first four in the Throne of Glass series as a Christmas gift. So change that to five. Still, even the one was like more than usual. Already owned books, I only read two. I don't have a lot of books I already own that I haven't read. More than I thought, but nowhere near like the triple digits, and I think maybe 20. So maybe someday I'll do a own TBR video if I can get all of those together, just so I know. Nonfiction, oh yeah, I said that. Now we talk about age range. I read 54 adult books. Not a surprise at all. I read 11, oh, no, that's 18 young adult books. That's different, but also okay, because three of those were on my favorite books of the year, so yes. And I read two children's books, which I'm very happy with. I have a couple more that I definitely want to read, and I'm glad for the Believe-a-thon for reminding me that there were children's books that I definitely want to read. Did not finish two books. That was the Game of Thrones and the Archive. There was a third book, but I'm not counting it because I got through the majority of it, and it was just the end. I was like, you know what? Stop pushing yourself for shit. As for my ratings, according to Goodreads, this is just in general. I do give half stars. I do put that in my reviews when I do. It's because sometimes things don't fall into one whole star altogether. I read 12 5-star books, 32 4-star books, 25 3-star books, and 3 2-star books. No 1-stars. I did not count the 2 books that I DNF'd. So, I think that's everything. Yes, those are my stats for 2019. I'm just really happy with how my reading turned out. As far as the starring system goes, it's a mix of critical and emotional. Honestly, I give 5 stars to those books that become favorites and I know I want to reread, meaning I want to own those, and I think I would reread them over and over and over and over and over again. I've never been one to just buy books and have them, so, and I that's probably a good thing because I don't have space for all the books, even if I had that money. So that's why I don't have too many own books that I haven't read. Like, I buy books and then read them right away. Library gives me a little bit more time. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like this video. Hit that like button. Let me know what your reading stats are or were for 2019. Do you read a lot of library books or no? I don't know what's up with the lighting. All of a sudden I'm like super bright, but I'm gonna go now. I hope you guys have a great 2020 reading year, and I will see you guys in the next